So I'm working on a SNAP Live project, Belgium for Biodiversity. And I'm using the non-profit organization Natagriwal. And our objective in our organization is to help the farmer to implement agro-environmental schemes and Natura 2000 restoration. We're about 60% on the organization, and we have 5 communication officers. So communication is important. So I split the presentation in 2 parts. So first I will present how we work for the agro-environmental scheme in Wallonia, which is a system which works, and it's also a system that could be improved, and that's what we are doing in the Live B4B. So in the Live, we are developing a collective approach for the agro-environmental schemes. So what are the agro-environmental CAP tools in Wallonia? We have the eco scheme and the agro-environmental scheme. They have all in common that they are voluntary system and they are implemented by the farmer where they want to implement it. The main difference between the 2 of them is that one is a 1-year commitment and the other one is a 5-year commitment. And now we'll switch on the agro-environmental schemes. We have 2 kinds of schemes. We have some schemes that we call entry-level measure, which mean that they have a simple management and they can implement by themselves without asking any help or any advice. Then there is the target measure, which have a more complex management, and generally they assess general or specific issue. So the specific issue can be the occurrence of specific species in the landscape, the occurrence of erosion problem or something similar. And to implement this target measure, they need to meet one of my colleagues, which is a farm advisor, and together they will identify the local issue and to identify what kind of scheme we can put on their farm. And they decide together which location they will choose. So here I have a broad overview of the different schemes we can have. So we have some schemes that foster the use of endangered species. We have a scheme for arable land. So the greasy headland basically are a strip of grass that we put within the big fields. Targeted plot are specific protocol dedicated to specific species. So it can be for hire, for converting, it can be for pollinator or erosion, for example. And we have some schemes that address pasture. So we have natural grassland. Basically, we pay the farmer to mow later the land. And we have more specific protocol for specific pasture. For example, if there is specific species of plant or flower. And you can see that most of these schemes have a good financial compensation, which is one of the good success factors. The financial compensation is competitive with normal farming. So how do we meet the farmer and how do we get them involved in the agro-environmental schemes? The communication teams organize a global communication. So what do we do? So we write regular articles in the agricultural press. We participate in many farmer councils. If a local community wants to have a presentation of the different CAP tool and agro-environmental scheme, the farm advisor come and meet the farmer, and generally after that kind of meetings, they meet many farmers to get some new schemes. We are already connected to the farmer union, so we also use their newspaper to spread the agro-environmental schemes. We are in all training program of university or agricultural school. This means that anyone that start to farm or to advise farmer knows about agroenvironmental schemes, and we are really present on social network. So thanks to this global communication, many farmers, and we will see later how many, contact Natagriwal, and then there is a meeting between the farmer and the farmer advisor. So during this meeting, the farm advisor identifies a local issue with the farmer. They decide what kind of protocol or scheme they will put in the farm. The next year, the farmer can engage his scheme through the CAP declaration. And during the 5-year contract, the farm advisor comes at least 1 or 2 times to check if everything is going well and identify the local issue with the farmer. Do you have too much weed in your schemes? Did the grass implementation was nice, etc. So this is the kind of issue that the farm advisor and the farmer discuss together. The cost of this system is about 5% of the agroenvironmental scheme budget in Wallonia. And for each farm advisor, we have about 180 farms. The first time I presented this presentation, just after me, there was someone from Austria that presented exactly the same process, but for result-based payment. And she was also proud of the system and said that this kind of approach works in Austria. And this kind of approach can work in other countries or other areas. So what are the general results of this approach? In Wallonia, we have 12,000 farms, and about 25% of the farmers have low-entry agroenvironmental schemes, and 20% of the farm have targeted agroenvironmental schemes. So 20% of the farmers are in contact with my colleagues, with the farm advisor. So this means that about half of the farmers in Wallonia are implementing agroenvironmental schemes. And concerning the area, about 7% of the pasture have schemes, and 1.5% of the arable land have schemes. So we are reaching the CAP objectives for the end of the current CAP. So in conclusion, we have good acceptance of the schemes by the farmer, and we should reach the objective for 2027. There are some issues of our system, is that we know that there is a positive effect on the scheme on the local scale, on the local bird population, but we do not access the most interesting area for the bird, which means that we easily put some scheme close to the house, close to the village, but so the schemes are in blue here, and in green here we have the most interesting area for the bird, which are areas that are far from the village, and it's difficult to implement scheme there. So we have an issue with the location of the scheme. And to address this issue, we are trying to develop collective agroenvironmental schemes, and I will switch on this part. So in the life B4B, our objectives are to develop and test a collective approach for the agroenvironmental schemes adapted to our local context. The schemes will be dedicated to hand hire, but the concept of the collective approach could be copy-pasted to other issues like erosion, pollution of the soil, or other kind of species. And the final objective is to introduce the concept of the collective approach in the next CAP in Wallonia, so within 2 years. So here I will present the concept of the collective approach. So our objective will be to reach the 5% of agroenvironmental schemes in 2 planes of 1,500 hectares. And this plane, this area must be in some specific place that are good for the hen hire. We want to find at least 2 groups of 5 farmers. And we are selecting the group of farmers through a call for tender, and I will give you the result in the next slide. The idea of the project is that we will have a territorial animation. So we'll have 1 person that will work for each group 1.5 days a week. And at the beginning of the project, this person will help to identify the local issue in each project. So in each project there will be some higher, but there may be other species that deserve help. There may be some erosion problem. And concerning the farmer, they can have some issue with the schemes. So some farmers have issue with the weed management of the scheme. Some farmers have issue like they don't know what to do when they mow the schemes. They have some grass and they are not growing cattle, so they need to export the hay. Some farmers have some issue with the local people that go with their horse in their land. They go in motorbike in the schemes, and these are some limiting factors that prevent the farmer to put more schemes. So we will try to identify that, and then along with the farmer, we will identify some action that they can implement to break these limiting factors. And to do so, they will have a budget of 50,000 euro per group, and they will decide. Each group will decide what they will do with this 50,000 euro. Besides that, we have a financial incentive. So they will receive a top-up of 180 euro per hectare of scheme if they reach the objective of 5% of scheme on the project. It will be a 5-year project, so it will start in January next year and it will last for the next 5 years. So to reach the farmer, so the farmer that could apply to the project are the farmers that are located in the green area. So there is a total of 1,000 farmers that could apply to this. And to reach them, first we send emails to each of these farmers. And this worked pretty well since most 60% of the farmers opened their mails. And I had about 70 farmers that call me or send me an email after opening this email. Many farmers talk about this project with the farm advisor, so the personal contact of the farm advisor was really important in this context. And we create a web page that some farmers visit, but not so much. And then we made 3 actions that didn't work or were useless. We published some flyers that we tried to distribute through the farm advisor or local partners. We wrote several articles in the agricultural press, and we made some posts on Facebook. And I had no feedback of farmers that contact us because of these 3 systems. So mailing to all farmers, talking with the farm advisor worked really well, and sending flyers, writing articles in the agricultural press, and making post Facebook didn't work in our case. So in fine, for on the 1,000 farmers that could apply to the project, I had 7 applications where there are between 5 and 20 farmers in each application. And I had 60 farmers that asked me some questions, told me that they were interested, but had no other farmer to make the project. So we are really happy about this result actually. So we get the application, and the next step will be to identify the project that we will implement, and then we will implement them. So I will have more slides the next time we meet.